Hello and welcome to the Business Success Show with me, Mac Attram. And as you know, on these sessions, we like to explore how can hardworking entrepreneurs like you and I build profitable, scalable businesses whilst having the freedom and the balance to do the other things that we love, such as family, sports, fun, adventures, charity. And as we say, there is more to life than the daily hustle and grind. And you are in for a treat because today I'm about to interview him. I'm about to bring him up here right now. And he's a good friend of mine. He's a marketing expert. He's the CEO of Pow New Media. His name is Glenn Burgess. And the reason why I've asked Glenn onto the show is because I love what he does. He's great at what he does. He's a family man just like me. He loves his wife, his kid, great, as well as an entrepreneur. He's got a fascinating background, and what he does with businesses in marketing right now is just purely amazing. So tune in, listen, and remember to join us on our Facebook group, the Business Success Club. Facebook group, the Business Success Club. Over to you, Glenn. Hey, Glenn, welcome to the Business Success Show. How are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Thank you, Mac. It's an honor to be on the show. I'm excited.
My pleasure. Finally, we get you on here. So, Glenn, I think we know that you're, because I've already mentioned it, you're a marketing expert and you help businesses and CEOs and marketing departments to improve their marketing. But what's your background? How did you get into marketing, or as a marketing consultant, marketing expert? How did you get into
that's a good question, Mac. No, I was going to say, when I left school, I wasn't sure. I'm like an accidental entrepreneur, really, because when I left school, worked in a bank, ended up in film school, and I think film school was great because you learn about storytelling and communication and things like that. And as you might know, I ended up down in the Greek islands organizing dance parties, made millions there in the late 90s. And that was the beginning of the internet. So, like Twitter, YouTube, all these different things didn't exist. And so we had a large customer base with the party. And we were building like a MySpace or a Facebook about 6 years before them. So if you came to a party at my house, all my friends are like, he should be Zuckerberg. He should be Zuckerberg. So we just grew up with internet marketing, as I say. That was back in sort of 99, year 2000. And 20 years later, obviously we have a marketing agency, an SEO agency, and scale-up agency. So So I stumbled into entrepreneurship through parties and getting into the web, really. So yeah.
So how did you end up in Greece? You've got, obviously I know you, and I know you're from New Zealand, right? So from New Zealand, Greece, and and now you live in London, the UK.
So
what was all that about? How did that happen?
How did that happen? Well, the truth is, I was in the States. I met an English girl. She was like, come to England. So I did. This is in 1995. And that relationship lasts all of 2 weeks. I'm like, what am I doing in England? What am I doing in England? And a friend of mine, he was like, every night of summer in around the Mediterranean is better than New Year's Eve in New Zealand. It's quite quiet in New Zealand. He's like, every night of summer is better than New Year's Eve in New Zealand. So we headed down to a Greek island called Kos. We were actually going to tour around the whole Med. We found Kos and we stayed in Kos.
Oh,
Kos is the nearest Greek island to Turkey. It's like a Scandinavian party island. Yeah. So and that's really, and then basically start running nightclubs, doing parties, come into England in winter, Greece in summer, and that goes on for a number of years.
Fantastic. And so through that party atmosphere, you then obviously, as an entrepreneur, you're filling up parties, you're attracting people to the events, to the shows, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so you was almost an accidental entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well, what happened? This is how. So the first summer we were on Kos. We were just working on a parachute platform. We get towed behind a boat and parachute, and so we're out there, and it's all Scandinavian tourists, as I say. And but we had some friends who did a boat cruise. They they did 50 boys, 50 girls, drink all night for free. And we used to promote them, and we'd go on these parties for free, and it was a good time. And then it was a friend of mine. It wasn't even my idea. A friend of mine's like, there were two big nightclubs. One was always full, one was always empty. And we'd been there a couple of years, and it always did that. So it was all corruption, mate, all corruption. But anyway, he said to me, he goes, we should do what the boat cruise guys do in whichever one of these nightclubs is or isn't busy. And these are giant clubs, hold 3,000 people. So we start off selling these tickets to a party, 500 boys, 500 girls, drink all night for free. So yeah.
Oh wow! Must have been exciting times, eh?
It was fun times. It was like when I was a high school quarterback or something.
Right, fun times, carefree times. It's fantastic. And so, yeah. So tell us what you do now as a marketing expert, marketing consultant. How would you describe your work then?
Well, we've got a number of strings to our bow, really. So there's Pow New Media, which is the agency, and that's kind of quite multidisciplinary. So from video to animation to building websites, Google AdWords, account-based marketing, which is, you probably know, is B2B on LinkedIn. But one particular business, the SEO London company, that's focused just purely on SEO. So my favorite thing throughout all of it is actually, it's funny you asked that, the question you asked, because my favorite bit is helping business owners to clarify their message. You know, I don't know if you've heard of Donald Miller's story brand. He's got a great tagline there.
Story brand, yeah.
Yeah. Clarify your story, grow your business. And it really is that. Because I don't believe, I owned a giant marketing agency, great results, people like, Business Mobiles have made like 44.7 million in the last 9 years. But I actually don't believe in marketing, and I don't believe in selling. This is the whole thing. So we're an interesting marketing agency, and because if you do your job well, you don't have to sell.
Yeah. So you don't believe in marketing, you don't believe in selling, but you're a marketing consultant who sells.
Who does a lot of sales.
So tell me a bit more about that then. Well,
okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, the best book on marketing I ever read. Yeah, shall I do it? You know what I'm going to say? Yeah, go on.
Because you're going to talk about. I think I know what you're going to talk about. Yeah, go. Yeah. Because when you talk about, there are many people who don't like to market. They don't like to promote or self-promote. They don't like to sell. Yeah. But I think the analogy you're going to use, if I'm thinking you're going to go down that line, really punches it nicely. Go ahead. Let's see what you say.
Exactly. Well, no, like I at Google, like I help a lot of startups, a lot of SaaS businesses and things like that. And so I used to mentor at Google Campus, and NatWest Bank rolled me out on stage. So I'm doing the same talk I always do, really. So it goes like this. Basically, the best in 20 years of marketing, the best book on marketing I ever read is called The Gorillas Want Bananas. Yeah, I'll save you 12 hours of reading. Whenever you read a book, there's only a few takeaways. But basically, you read the book and you'll come away. Here's the big takeaway. You don't have to sell a banana to a gorilla. The gorillas want bananas. Now, makes sense. But here's the thing. Who's the gorilla? The gorilla is the psychographic profile of your ideal client. And you've probably heard of a demographic. Demographic is like 18 to 35-year-old male, lives in London. That stuff's useful, but psychographic profiling this is what they're thinking, this is what they're feeling, these are their worries, their concerns, these are their hopes, their dreams, the deeper, this is what wakes them up at night in a cold sweat. The better the psychographic profile of your ideal client, and I say the ideal client, and we'll go back to that later, but if you know your gorilla, you can talk gorilla language. The banana, so that's the gorilla at the top. Gorillas want bananas. At the bottom is the banana. What's the banana? That's your unique value proposition. We've all heard of a USP. Yeah, you with me? And that's a unique selling proposition. And I'm talking about a unique value proposition. It's only one word difference: unique selling proposition, unique value proposition, unique selling proposition. But look, nobody likes a salesman. Nobody likes to be sold to. You know, if you walk into the store, can I help you? No, I'm just looking, you know, which is true most of the time. I'm just looking. So this unique value proposition, why I push that so much is, if I'm trying to, a unique selling proposition, if I'm trying to make a sale, it's all about me. It's about me getting money. It's about me making a sale. That's why people, you know, probably some of the people listening to this feel uncomfortable about selling, because it's like you're trying to take the money, right? But a unique value proposition, not a unique selling proposition, a unique value proposition is like, it's like a smorgasbord of awesome. You know, it's like, imagine a big dining room table full of delicious food. And we're basically, if we're doing our job correctly, the gorilla want banana, because that's what we're talking about. So imagine a gorilla above this table of smorgasbord, because it wants it. And that's the thing. That's why I say I don't believe in marketing, because the act of marketing is just presenting a banana to a gorilla. And if we've done our job correctly, we're talking gorilla language. The gorillas want bananas. And sorry, I'll take it back a step. Here's the reasons. Do you know you know, Mac, what are the failure rates for business? You tell me.
I think research says that 90% of startups will fail within the first 5 years, something like that.
Exactly. When you look at the failure rates for people who start businesses, it's horrendous. I think the stats I've read are, if 100 businesses start today, by year 2, 80% of those have failed. They've gone bust. They've spent a fortune and they've gone bust. Which leaves, so out of 100, that would leave us with 20, because 80% failed in the first 2 years. Guess how many have failed by year 5 of those 20 that are remaining as a percentage?
Oh, really? Oh, that's a good question. By year 5, as a
by year 5 of the 20 that are remaining out of 100.
50%, I should think.
Oh, yeah, so close. It's 80%. So of the 20, we lose another 80%, which I think leaves something like 6 or whatever else. Long story short, if 100 businesses start today, 80% die in the first 2 years. Of the remainders, by year 5, 80% of those are gone. And this is why the 10-year mark is so important. If you've been around 10, and by the way, we're talking about real businesses here with staff and systems. We're not talking about a one-man band. That's a job. That's not a business with systems and sales and finance. So the 10-year mark is so relevant, you know, whenever a business says, hey, we've been around more than 10 years, because basically it means you've got all these systems in place. It means you've got an HR strategy or policy, you know more about that than I do. It means you've got marketing people. It means you've got sales people. It's a profitable big business. I mean, just by, if I may, do you know that there's only 6,000 businesses in the UK? There's only 6,000 businesses in the UK with more than 50 staff.
Oh, okay. 6,000. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which is incredible, right? So of the 4.95 million businesses, whatever else, most of them are all small one-man bands. There's only 6,000 with more than 50 staff. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. And what's weird is you've got everybody else trying to sell to those bigger companies. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Trying to sell to the 6,000.
Yeah. And that's your Tesco's, your BTs, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent slightly there about the failure rates here. So why do all these businesses fail? Do you know what I mean? And it's sad. Like you and I both know, entrepreneurs are awesome. We're positive, risk takers, you know, but they'll have a good idea and they'll go and they'll build a website and they'll have business cards and they'll start marketing and they'll do all these things, only to have it fail, and it's all over. And the question is why? Why do all these businesses fail? If I'm saying marketing is simple. Gorillas want bananas. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
Here's why. Metaphorically speaking, most businesses are running around the Serengeti with a ham sandwich, chasing giraffes and gazelles and baboons. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Wondering what's going wrong, why it's not working. Whereas when we, remember, we're after gorillas and gorillas want bananas. Whereas when we know we're after gorilla and we know the psychographic profile of our ideal client, we're straight off to Uganda. Think Diane Fossey, Gorillas in the Mist, the movie from the 80s. I'm showing my age, right? Yeah, go right up to the biggest silverback. You've got it, and you go, "Hey, do you want a banana?" And it rips it out of your hand. So the whole thing is, gorillas want bananas. Why small businesses fail is they haven't done enough work on this is my ideal client. That they haven't done the psychographic profiling and their value proposition. You know, they're probably out in the marketplace saying, not saying, "Hey, it's a banana." They'll be saying, "There's this yellow, nutritious fruit." Full of potassium and magnesium. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So many business owners, they're obsessed with their product and features, and what they have to do is become obsessed with the gorilla, become obsessed with the psychographic profile of your ideal client. So no. So just a takeaway there.
So so let me get this right. So what you're saying is that to really get more clients on board, get obsessed with who your ideal client is. So who's your gorilla? Because obviously, if you put, like, I love the analogy. If you put a
makes it simple,
fruit in front of a gorilla, they're going to snap it up.
Of course.
If you put $100 in front of them, they're going to look at that as, what is that? Because that's not what they want, right? So that analogy makes sense. So for business owners, for entrepreneurs, small business owners, we're talking about, you said, get clear on who the ideal client is, all the way down to the psychographics in terms of how they feel, what they feel like day to day, you know, what keeps them up at night, what stresses them out, what's their worries, all these kind of, how they think and behave. I love that. It's fantastic.
Like, here's a good example to make it make sense. Let's go back to those parties in Greece, right? Let's go back to the parties in Greece. So ultimately, we've got the biggest nightclub on the island. You can drink all night for free. But we're selling tickets to either girls or guys, because one of the things about the parties was you had to be even numbers. You know, it was always even numbers, because the island had a bit of a reputation as a meat market, a bit of a party island. So it was 80% guys. So wherever you went, it's mainly guys in all the bars. And you come to this nightclub where it's 50-50 numbers, and you're like, whoa, compared to everywhere else. Anyway, the point I want to make. We used to sell tickets in the street, cash. It was a cash business. It was a cash business. But anyway,
before PayPal and all that. Before
no, dude. When I was doing Utopia, the online community, it was like people were afraid to use credit cards online. Imagine it. I'm not using my credit card. It was unbelievable. But anyway, going back to the partying cost. There's one party. There's a party. You know, the first year it was just the pool party. Even numbers, drink all night for free. But here's the thing about psychographic profile of your ideal client, right? Same party, same product, same banana, but the way you sold a ticket to a guy, completely different to the way you sold a ticket to a girl. And if either one of them heard the other sales pitch, they'd run a mile. So imagine. So same banana, same party, but to the guys, it's all like, I'm your best buddy, drink all night. Oh, the club's full of girls, we're all gonna get way, the girl, the way you sell a ticket to a girl, like we had a party ladies' night, and we made the ultimate party, so no girl could say no to it. But the way we sold a ticket to a lady would be, what's your favorite cocktail? Oh, sex on the beach. Well, you drink them all night. We've got sexy bow-tied waiters serving you champagne and your favorite cocktails all night long, and we have a show. But anyway, it was all about, you're going to be treated like a princess. It's a safe place. You're going to be, basically you're going to be the princess. That's what.
Wow.
The story to the boys, it's full of drunk girls. If either heard the other sales pitch, they'd run a mile. So the point I'm trying to make is different. Same banana. Banana. You got to know the psychographic profile of who you're talking to, what they came to the island for. There was a reason it was 80% guys on the island. If that metaphor makes sense
it makes sense. It really makes sense. So if it's that simple, on the face of it,
it is. Why
do you think so many entrepreneurs or small business owners struggle with marketing in terms of getting more clients and getting more leads?
I'll tell you what. That's a great question. It's a brilliant question. So why do they fail? Why do they struggle? I will say it again. I think they struggle because they're too obsessed with themselves. I mean, that sounds harsh, right? But watch this. I'll take it back to dating. So I make everything about parties and dating. This is crazy. But watch. I could go into a bar, up to complete stranger, like pretend I'm single. I'm married, but pretend I'm single. I could just walk up to every girl in the bar and say, will you come home with me? Or will you marry me? And they're going to be like, who are you? Who are you? We have no relationship. I don't know you from Adam. Who are you? So in a dating sense, what do you do? What do you do when you meet somebody? You show you listen. I think the model, what I was going to say to you initially was, if you went on a date with somebody and all he did was go, my name's Glenn, I drive a Porsche, I make this much money, I do this, I do that, blah, blah, I did this in life, I did that, blah, blah, blah. It's all about me. What's the other person going to be thinking? In dating, you talk about put the spotlight on the other. It's like, so tell me about your dreams. So what do you want to do? Where'd you guys go on holiday? What was your favorite time? To be interesting, be interested. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yes, so the analogy I'm trying to use there is too many people, or most businesses, are a bit like that creepy guy in a bar. We're talking about themselves and say, bye. It's like, no, it's like dating. You need people, people buy from people.
Yes.
People buy from people they like.
Yes.
People like them. Yeah. People buy from people. People buy from people they like. People like them. I say that simply because, if you're out there just trying to sell, that's why you're having problems. Marketing and having people, online, it's the funnel. Most people listening have heard of the sales funnel, right? At the top, you've got awareness. Okay, so just imagine psychographic profile of your ideal client at the top. That's the gorilla. Yeah. At the bottom is your unique value proposition, which is a communications message wheel. You've seen one before.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the middle is a funnel. So let's roll through the funnel. Step one of the funnel is awareness. Awareness just means I'm aware. Like somebody watching this right now is like, oh, Glenn exists. It doesn't mean you're bored. It means nothing. It just means you've come into my spatial realm of awareness. You exist. If I speak at Google Campus and I stand on stage as the authority, they're like, oh, he exists. The next thing that happens, so awareness is just, I saw your ad, I found you, I read an email, I saw you on stage, I watched a video, whatever. It's just awareness. That's all it means. It's awareness. The next level, and it happens real fast, especially online, is something called image match. Image match.
Okay.
Yeah. People buy for emotional reasons. And then the next, because after image match is facts match. People buy for emotional reasons, and then they justify it with logic.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. That little bit there, all of it together, image match, facts match. So you exist. So I'll use the example, me standing on stage. I'm standing on stage. I exist. That's awareness because I'm speaking. I'm on stage.
Yeah.
What will happen really fast? And look, there's no right, no wrong. Some people in the audience go, don't like this guy. He's got a beard. Other people like, oh, I quite like Glenn, like the cut of his jib. Yeah. Yeah. That's the emotional bit. Just people like them, blah, blah, blah. Right. The next bit is what we call facts match. And I said, people buy for emotional reasons, and then they justify it with logic. Yeah. So if I'm up on stage talking away, blah, blah, they're going, oh, he exists, awareness. Oh, I quite like him. Yes. What he's saying seems to make some sort of sense. That's the logic bit. The next bit in the funnel, so awareness, image match, facts match, is response. The best form of response is come and have a go and see what it's like to be a customer. Yeah. It's a test drive. Think of a car. I see an ad for a car. I like 4x4s. It's like, oh, it's a 4x. That's image match. Oh, it's a 4x4. Right. Oh, and it's electric. Oh, yeah, I was going to buy a new car anyway and want to save the planet. That's logical. No, I just like the 4x4. But they're like, come and have a test drive. Come and see what it's like to be a customer. That's the best test drive you can do. Yeah. You probably, there's all sorts of test drives. When you go to a website and it pops up and it says, hey, download my free ebook. Yeah. That's a test drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do that, what some people call a lead magnet.
Yep.
Is a test drive. So
really,
your name, your email address, I'll give you this. test drive it, see if you like it, have a read of it, or watch a video, see if you like. If you do, and then maybe I've got something else for you. Okay, I get it. That's a good way.
Exactly. No, I think you're quite right, because what you're trying to do always is build a relationship. I'm trying to think of his name now. Oh, it doesn't matter. But it's been shown, you know, you need at least 11 touch points in order for someone to be a stranger to a friend. Okay. You need at least 11 touch points. First time I meet you, whatever. But the more times, 11 touch points, 4 different locations. Oh, I saw your webinar. Oh, I received an email. Oh, I saw one of your ads on Facebook. Yeah, 4 places, 11 touch points. And I think it's something like, if you can make it a goal, that they have spent something like 7 hours with you. It might be, yeah. So even now, somebody listening to this podcast, so Matt, you're a business guru. I've been on your business boot camp, loved it. You know what? I happy to sing your praises.
Thank you.
Your business boot camp. And I mean this from my heart, having attended twice. I think I did it, didn't I? Right. I think is a must for every small business owner. If you're running a team and things like that, like, because it's so experiential, some of those games we played, just absolutely real aha moments. Anyway, but yeah, you know, I was saying, somebody who's listening to your podcast, you know, that's an hour of time. They've spent an hour with Mac. Hopefully they're getting value. You know, if they came on one of your business workshops, wow, you know, then they're spending what, 3 days, is it now?
3 days, 3 days.
3 days, it's been 3 days with, you know, at the end of that process, they're loving you. You've delivered massive value. They're loving you, you know? So I'm going to circle back around, right? Gorillas want bananas. Who's the gorilla? Psychographic profile of your ideal client. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are their worries, their concerns? Go deep into that.
Sure.
Why? Because, you know, look, when I land on a website, you know, if I'm a gorilla and I want a banana and I land on a website, headline, are you a gorilla who wants bananas? Do you know what I mean? I sometimes say there's only 3 types of advert you can write. Watch. 3 types. First type, are you a hungry gorilla? Yeah. Second type, do you love bananas? And the best type of all, are you a hungry gorilla who loves bananas? To give you a real life example, you know, what's that thing about, what's the one where, you know, do your gums bleed when you brush your teeth? Okay, What is that? That's, are you a gorilla? Are you with me? Yeah. I think it's compare the markets, like the biggest advertising spend on TV. They spend an absolute fortune. I used to use them as a great example years ago. So I'd be on stage and I'd go, you know, who's seen that ad with the meerkat? Yeah. I'll go back. It's better than it used to be. But I used to go, you know, what? And you go compare the market and you compare the meerkat. You know, what's the ad about the meerkat? You know, what do they do? You know the meerkat, but what do they do?
Yeah.
And dude, I'm being honest, about 90% of the audience didn't have a clue. Yeah, it's real creative. Whoa, it's really creative. Same with the gorilla playing drums for camera. You know, it's like advertising has become so far removed from the essence of what it is. People have problems. You solve their problems. That's what they're listening for. Do you know what I mean? Sure. Why those ads? Why the creativity aspect is, because there's so many avenues of marketing now. I think the average person's hit by 11,000 messages a day or some craziness like this. What? Really? Wow. Yeah, because you're on Facebook. You scroll through Facebook. It's ad. You walk down. You're on the bus. You know, you're on the tube. Oh, look at all the ads. You know, you're surrounded. But you pick up the metro. We are literally bombarded with advertising. And the brain has become really, really good at shutting it all out. Okay. So Seth Godin, Seth. He wrote a great book called. I feel like I'm talking a lot here, buddy. So long as I'm trying to add value anyway.
This is all good stuff. Listen, how many of you are loving Glenn's energy? I mean, I love this guy. He's great at what he does. As you can see, he's not sitting down. He's standing up. He's giving you so much energy, saying it as it is. He's been doing this for over 20 years. And remember, join us in the Facebook club. It's called the Business Success Club, Facebook group, Business Success Club. to get more awesomeness like this. People like Glenn, people like Dr. Ivan Meisner, all these people like Blair Singer, giving great information and helping you to grow your business and have a better business. Now, anyway, we'll talk about self.
Yeah, I love. I'm going to feed on from that. Here's the thing. I did because you know, Ivan Meisner, BNI and things like that. I did Sandler sales training. I love Sandler. You know, it's corporate stuff. £10,000 to do a session. It's aimed at corporates. LinkedIn, you know, LinkedIn, all their salespeople do Sandler. Anyway, what did I learn? You know, in that process, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned, like, as a summary, I'm grade 1 for summaries.
Yeah.
Sandler, be a pain gold miner. You're looking for the pain. You know, you probably heard, you know, spin selling, situation, problem, implication, need. When I learned that, oh my God, it changed everything. I used to blow so many sales. Yeah. Sandler is like spin on steroids. But what I'd say is, you know, in those first initial meetings, when you've got a potential gorilla, it's all just about asking questions, looking for the pain. And how's that affecting you? And what were the causes of it? And they go deep, 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 deep. And down here is where the, you don't have to sell, because they're talking about the pain, you know.
Right.
You know, how long will your business last if you don't make any more sales in the next, you know, period? You know, how long can you be non-profitable? You know, you got to make people. That's what I took away from Sandler. You have to make people feel the pain. Yeah, feel the pain. Okay. Because why? Because people buy for emotional reasons, and then they justify it with logic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
So no, this is all great stuff, by the way, Glenn. It's fantastic, really, really good stuff. So some of our listeners listening in, some are good at sales, some are not. Some are good at marketing, most are not. You've given some great examples, great analogies on there as well. Let's talk about one of the areas that your company, Pow New Media, really specializes in, which is the online world, the digital marketing, specifically SEO, search engine optimization, and pay-per-click advertising. Do you want to talk a bit around that? Because although it's out there, most businesses don't do it, although it's been out there for more than 10 years.
I know. This is why I say marketing is so easy. Or like, you know, gorillas want bananas. Once you, that's why it's such a good metaphor. Once you get that, it's easy. Because watch. You know, the best customer in the whole world, for whatever banana you're selling, watch. It's the gorilla who goes to his computer, sits there and types, "I want bananas."
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Your ideal customer is actually out there looking to solve their pain or looking for your solution. If you're solving a pain and you're bringing value to the world, they're looking for you because they've got this pain that they want to solve, right? Yes. So here's the thing. So I'll say it again. The best gorilla, your ideal client, is going to the computer, typing in, "I want bananas." Now, here's the thing. You've got two ways of making sure. Step one, awareness, making sure that you're the one that gets found. Ready? You can be number one with Google AdWords, and you're going to pay Google for the privilege, and they're going to charge you for every single click. That's why it's really important that you're sending them not to your homepage, but to a landing page that talks gorilla language and offers a free banana. But anyway, you've got two ways of getting found, right? So gorilla types, "I want a banana," boom. Number one, AdWords. You're going to pay to be there. That's pay per click. Yep. The other way is natural search, SEO, search engine optimization. So that's a way of just making sure that you're always found for particular keywords when the gorillas go looking. Yeah. So you've only got two options, really. You can go and start doing social, and you can do stuff on LinkedIn and blah, 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 and tweet and Twitter ads. But that's interruption marketing. That's where we're going. I'm after a gorilla, so I believe that gorillas are in this Facebook group. So I'm going to go into that. So I'm not knocking. So we can do social as well, social ads, Facebook ads, Twitter ads. But I'm saying that's secondary. Yeah. Okay. The primary is the gorilla who goes, I'm looking for the solution now. And that's SEO and pay-per-click.
Yeah.
AdWords is immediate. You can be number one tomorrow. You can be there for but you're going to pay for the clicks, right? And there's lots of secrets. Here's the thing, as an AdWords agency through Pow, you know, there's all sorts. I'll tell you what, here's a big tip. Here's a big tip.
Go ahead. Go
freebie. Here's a freebie.
There's a freebie. Go for it.
If the secret to pay-per-click is to only pay for clicks that lead to sales, not for clicks that don't go anywhere. You're just going to waste a fortune. You only want to pay for clicks that lead to sales. There's a specific process to go through to achieve that. You have to test it, optimize it, and then it's the internet cash register, right?
Okay.
If I can, I'll share a graphic with you that shows the 3 phases, but wasn't the focus of what I wanted to say. Here's a tip. You know, I've got a client's building company. They do loft conversions, house extensions, things like this, right? The average house extension or loft conversion costs 60 grand, 70 grand, up to 100 and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're running paid ads at £16 a click. Ooh, £16 a click. 16, 32, you know, that's an expensive game to be in, right? Here's my free giveaway. If it's costing me £16 a click, yeah, I only want potential gorillas clicking on that ad. So one of the best things you can ever do, because you'll see a lot of people running these ads.
Yeah.
Free quote, free survey, free this, free that. Well, that's going to get you lots of clicks, but it's also going to cost you a fortune. So one of the best things you can ever do, write this one down, is if your average, if the lowest you're ever going to do a loft is like 40 grand, put the price in the ad. Because if your gorilla isn't going to pay 40 grand, you don't want them clicking on your ad at £16 a click. Does that make sense? So just a giveaway, always put a price in your ad. Because what you're really doing is running an ad that says, if you're not a gorilla, piss off. Right. Does it make sense? Exactly. Yeah, especially when you're paying for every click.
So they elect
to
be in, or they elect not to click. They are electing.
Oh, yes.
They self-selection.
I'm not paying 40 grand for a loft. Great. Well, don't click on my ad then. Don't click on my ad.
Just done there. So then it's a disqualification process, because if they not click on it, you don't want them anyway.
Yeah. As an AdWords agency, our job is to get higher click-through rates and lower the cost per click. But like one of the best ways to, you know, show ROI is, you know, if it ain't a gorilla, you don't want them clicking on your ad. So that's okay. So you got Google AdWords, and then you've got SEO. Now, SEO is awesome. SEO is always the best long-term strategy. Being there when the gorilla goes looking, that's your goal. Your goal is, if a gorilla goes looking for the banana, you want to be number one. You can pay to be there with pay-per-click. And we run lots of pay-per-click campaigns, and they're, you know, ROI and business, you know, I won't talk about business mobiles, but yeah, they're always profitable because that's our job. But here's the thing, SEO is awesome. SEO is my favorite, because SEO is, once you're number one, that's free traffic forevermore. You're not paying for every click. That's just free customers forever. Now, don't get me wrong, it takes time to get to number one.
How long does that take then, typically?
Well, just on average, I'd say, like, and this is I go crazy with SEO, because we all know we get those spam emails. Oh, we'll get you number one, 50 quid a month. Dude, the amount of work that's involved to get to somebody to number one, even if it's in India, Pakistan, the Philippines, it's way more than 50 quid a month. So whenever you receive one of those, hey, we'll get you to number one, 50 quid a month, they're charlatans. So unfortunately with SEO, it's a very busy, noisy marketplace full of charlatans. So it kind of sucks to be like, you know, but as I say, if you go to SEO-London-company, SEOLondoncompany.com, you'll see all our customers. They're all number one. Everybody's number one. Everybody's making lots of money.
SEO, what was that? Was that SEO London?
So SEO-London, London, dash company. So the SEOLondoncompany.com, just with dashes in between, SEO London Company with dashes in between.com. Okay. Because we're basically on there is a free review. So anybody, you know, they just put in who their competitors are, what keywords they'd like. what their domain is, because we go through and do an analysis of the domain. A lot of the stuff to do with SEO, it's kind of a bit geeky. That's why it's not my favorite product, if I'm honest.
Okay.
It gets results, but it's about fixing up your website. So you've got the right heading tags, heading one tags, alt images, all sorts of stuff. And it's all about backlinks. So it's kind of boring stuff. But look, this is Internet Marketing 101. Write this down. This is worth writing down. Internet Marketing 101. Here you go. You know, gorillas want bananas. They're out there looking. Step one, make sure you're found. That's it. Yeah, they're looking. Make sure you're found. As I say, that's AdWords, SEO, social media. Just get out there. Make sure you get found. But there's only two parts. Watch. That's traffic. We call it traffic. Getting found. That's potential customers. The more traffic you have, the more money you make. But traffic without conversion means nothing.
True.
It's these two things. That's all we, as an agency, that's all we do. Traffic and conversion. So watch, you can have the world's best website. This is conversion. You can have the world's best website. But if nobody ever sees it, you're not going to make any money. That's conversion. You can have it's got videos, testimonials, capture devices, lead magnets. You've got nurture secret. But if nobody ever sees it, you don't make any money. And as I said, you can have a million hits to your website every day. Oh, but if there's no conversion, you don't make any money. So there's only two parts to internet marketing: traffic and conversion. Now here's the facts. If you have an e-commerce store, a lot of people do, you'll be lucky to sort of get a 2 to 3% conversion rate. That means out of every 100 that come in, only 2 to 3% are going to buy today. And here's the reason why. Most people aren't looking to buy.
That's right,
Yeah? They're researching. I might buy one day from somebody. But today they're just researching, thinking, considering, looking at the options and things like that. But they are out there looking. You want to make sure you're found. AdWords, SEO, as I say. When they land on your website, you've got 3 seconds. You've got 3 seconds to say you're in the right place. So when they land on that landing page, so let's pretend we've got all these people coming through. When they land on that landing page, you got 3 seconds to say you're in the right place. Now do this. So that's a big benefit-laden headline, something along the lines of, "Are you a gorilla who wants a banana?" Or, "Here's my free banana daiquiri guide."
Right. Yeah.
Because remember, only 2 out of every 100 gorillas would even buy today.
Okay.
Yeah. Most people are looking for information. They're doing research. So the very least you want to do when they hit your website, as you said earlier, have some sort of lead magnet, have some sort of coupon, especially for e-commerce, 20% off your first purchase. So you're looking for traffic, conversion. Conversion looks like it is actually, it's good to say this. A lot of business owners, they think if I get them to my website, they'll buy. No, that's two out of every 100, 2 to 3 out of every 100. So what you want to do is capture that 98, which is most of the market, and put them into some sort of email nurture campaign, and then start remarketing to them. We do a lot of, banner, remarketing, banner advertising all over Google Display. We all know what that is. You look at some red shoes, you see them everywhere. That's called remarketing. And this is what's amazing. The technology now, the technology for tracking, and, once somebody's said, "Hey, I'm a potential gorilla," you can chase them all around the web. And not only that, it's like when one person, this is sort of Facebook type stuff, when one person says, "Oh, I'm a potential gorilla," we've got the ability to go, well, if that's a potential gorilla, with all these data points and everything else, these other people are probably gorillas too. Do you know what I mean? That'd be a whole session on Facebook.
Lookalike audiences. And
lookalike audiences. Exactly.
Well, listen. Yes. If you are listening to this right now, and you are loving the awesomeness from Glenn Burgess, CEO and principal at Pow New Media. I mean, when it comes to marketing, this is the guy, right? When it comes to search engine optimization, this is the guy. When it comes to pay-per-click, got to listen to what he's saying. And he takes the complex, and as you've heard, demystifies it and make it sit simple. If you heard the analogy, gorillas want bananas. So on this call, you got to think, who are my gorillas? So who are the people who have this pain, who have this problem, who have these issues, who have these challenges, who are looking for something that I have? And what is my banana? What is that unique value proposition that I have that they're looking for? What's my banana? And if you can marry those two, guess what? Your potential to actually bring in more leads, more clients goes up way, way higher. So it's really great there. And remember, check him out. SEO London company.
It's the SEO London company, just with dashes between, SEO-London-company.com. They can do a free review. There's a free review on the website.
It costs you nothing.
It costs you nothing. It's a free test drive.
Exactly. If you're a small business owner looking for more leads, looking to do better marketing, looking for more clients, looking for sales to close, looking to convert, you've got to listen to this guy. So in wrapping up very soon, what else do you want to add or say to our listeners here? And really, while Glenn is thinking here, remember to join us in Facebook, in our Facebook group called the Business Success Club. The Business Success Club, make sure you join us there, where we talk about all things business, small business, especially entrepreneurialism. And we also talk about wealth and wealth creation. So yes, it's been great so far. We've learned a lot so far from you, Glenn. We talked about gorillas, want bananas. We talked about psychographics. We talked about really asking the questions around their challenges, their issues, their problems, their pains, and getting people to buy, getting people to a place where they want to buy. And we do that from, they're going to buy from an emotional place and justify it with logic. And you're going to do that by asking them lots of questions, getting to the root of what's going on. And they're going to tell you what their needs are. Anything you want to add?
I could tell a quick story. It's like a funny one. Is it like a couple of minutes? Watch this. True story. All my stories. A good friend of mine, Alexis Garner Miller, she had a retreat down in the south of England towards Hastings. Anyway, I'm on my way to a sales meeting. I'm off to a meeting, see a client, and she calls me and she's like, Glenn, this retreat she had, she wasn't a client or anything. She's calling me as a friend. She's like, Glenn, we have, this retreat, we haven't had any sales for 6 months. Oh, wow. 6 months. No bookings, 6 months. I couldn't believe it. I was like, 6 months? My God.
Oh, wow.
This is years ago. I'm going back years ago, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm in a bit of a rush. So I'm just walking along on the phone. I'm like, look, you're running Facebook ads. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, right. Okay. Who's your biggest competitor? Who's your biggest competitor? And she's like, Bamboo Retreats. I'm like, okay, great. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go out and run a Facebook ad. Yeah. I want you to run a Facebook ad. Only show that ad to customers of Bamboo Retreats, because they're your customers. Okay. Yeah. There's a true story. 4 or 5 years ago, I suppose. Anyway, that was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I got a text at 11 o'clock at night that night. Glenn, I did exactly what you said. Wrote some ads. Feeling stressed, come to our relaxation retreat. Only showed it to our competitor, Bamboo Retreats. Amazing, I still remember the name. 6 sales for a cost of £20. Do you know what I mean? After 6 months of nothing. So that's what I'm saying. If you know who your gorilla is, and by the way, your competitors have all your gorillas, by the way. You can target them on Facebook. Look, this stuff isn't hard. It's not hard. It's actually really, really easy. You just got to do the thinking bit and do it and execute on it. So yeah, we've got a free review there on SEO as well. So
make sure you check out the free review. It will really get you thinking. And if you're looking for help in this arena, Glenn is your guy to help you to do that. So on that note, great story. Glenn, I want to say thank you for your time, especially thank you for your energy. Not everybody has your energy. And thank you for your sense of humor. Thank you for who you are and what you do. You're an entrepreneur, you are a marketing consultant, but you don't take life too seriously. You have fun with it. And I know for a fact your clients enjoy working with you. And that's a great thing to have. And so, Glenn, again, thank you. Thank you for this time. For those who are listening in, remember, check out go and do the free review, SEO-London-company.com. It is there and you can get it done as well. So on the other note, check us out on, come to our Facebook group as well, the Business Success Club, for more inspirational videos like this, tips, hints, strategies to help you to move your small business forward even further. So on that note, Glenn, thank you,
Mac.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll catch up very, very soon. All right, Glenn?
Take care, my friend. See you, buddy. Bye.